Hello people of the internet, my name is JD Shadow. This video is not going to contain any moving imagery or is not going to contain, at least from my estimation, any offending imagery. You're going to find out why in just a second. It is because for those people who have no idea of who I am, let me describe me for just a second. I run what I call a variety channel. I don't focus on just one thing. I don't focus on just reactions. I don't focus on just news. I don't focus on just gaming. This is so I don't pigeonhole myself into a particular type of content in which I cannot get out of because people are expecting that one thing from me. I like to diversify myself into different things. One of those things is news. I run a special report, which I feel is a bit of a spiritual successor to Total Biscuit's content patch. The late John Bain is the one who made that popular, and since I consider him a person that is a great influence on me, I decided to use that format in order to provide my special report. I run in the left-hand side of it a description of the story that I am covering. I don't focus on just one thing. I go around what is relevant at that point in time, and I give my opinion of it. It is a news show. It is an analysis show. It is an opinion show. It is to give my opinion on what is going on at that point of time, if I feel as though it is relevant enough for me to make a video about it. But I don't just do what is called clickbait content. I don't look at those trending things on Twitter or on YouTube or anything like that. If I feel as though there's something I want to say about it, I will go and say something about it. If something is trending, though I have nothing to add to the conversation or nothing of value to it, then I'm not going to cover it. Or if it's something that has everything been said that has already been said, I will steer clear of it, or I will get out of people's way. But the format, as you can see in the video right now, is the usual format that it comes in. You can see the descriptions in the left hand side, the rundown in the bottom, and in that little window there is a sort of video that would be playing while I talk over it. A mix of OC remix tracks, which I got the permission to use, by the way, plays in the background. There is no video audio to be found when it comes to the footage that I use, and I will give credit to the video in question. I have always done that unless it comes from my own footage. I am not one of those that's going to hijack content and say that it's mine. Now, why am I saying this? Why am I giving you this information? Well, one of the stories that I had covered immensely was the fallout from what was called changethechannel. This was a hashtag that was made because of about 20 to 40 people who created a not so awesome document highlighting and whistleblowing many of the grievances they had while working at Channel Awesome, the popular MCN, in which is headed by Mike Michaud and of course Doug and Rob Walker, Doug known as the Nostalgia Critic. Although some people have claimed that these are unfounded, others have claimed that while they are founded, many of them are smaller petty claims which were escalated into bigger claims because of what else was in there, which was more serious claims involving abuse and neglect, as it contains to somebody who was quote-unquote grooming some people for their own benefit. When that came out, several people produced videos in support of those producers. I was not one of those people. I was one of the few people that was heavily critical of the producers. It's because, one, I did not feel as though I would add anything if I had taken the popular side, the quote-unquote popular side, and two, I did not feel as though that was my opinion. My opinion was that I knew that some people were lying because I saw some of the events happen in real time. And that's not saying I work with Channel Awesome, that's because I knew of some people in other venues, and because I saw other evidence to present me with the case that the producers were not innocent in any sort of regard as to what the toxicity was like during that time in Channel Awesome. Now, you may be wondering what the point of all of this is. You probably have seen my videos by now. You probably have seen my content by now, and those people who have followed me or followed Change the Channel will probably know everything that had came about. Well, one of the things that ended up happening was that a person who stayed with Channel Awesome, Brad Jones, a cinema snob, started getting attacked. He did not leave Channel Awesome on the back of this whole controversy because, one, he was a good friend of Doug Walker's, and two, he made a particular tweet which is now infamous, saying that they were whining because they did not get Applebee's. This set off one of the people who has now become very infamous in this whole story, which is Allison Prager, the Obscurus Lupa, and that is going to be the subject of this particular video. It is because at one point in time, though by a couple of months ago, she made a few tweets stating about those particular Applebee's tweets and about that particular story, in which she clarified, and in that particular point in time, kind of admitted that perhaps she wasn't saying the entire truth. And if she wasn't saying the entire truth there, where else was she not telling us everything that actually happened? It is important to note that Allison Prager has been known to be what is called very bitter. She has repeatedly questioned Brad on a number of different topics and has repeatedly said that she had looked for apology but now doesn't want one and doesn't think that they would ever be allowed to grow and become better. She has changed her mind on a number of these different topics. It is also important to note that she has a bit of a problem with turning on her friends. It is not hard to see as to a pattern that she seems to have. She turned on Spoonie in a now infamous situation that ended up with him almost taking his own life. She has obviously turned on Doug Walker, now on Brad Jones, and more recently with Cinematic Venom. If you were following that story, Rob Bohr made a series of tweets in which he was talking about the usage of a racial epithet used in a Mel Brooks film, and his defense of PewDiePie, among other things, had led to Holly Brown and Obscurus Lupa suddenly turning on him. This was a person, probably one of the last chances that they had for Change the Channel to become absolutely relevant again, and they squandered it because they could not get past their own wokeness. This was, of course, followed by Erod's wife saying a whole bunch of different claims, and we all know how Erod acts and behaves toward anybody who doesn't share his exact opinion. Of course, the most infamous one is her saying that Brad Jones was lying when he was saying that his wife, who had also backed up the claim, had said they were swatted or had some form of swatting done to them or a swatting attempt during the funeral of Laura's father. Now, I'm not going to go into my opinions about that because I had covered that several times. So on August 8th, 2019, I had posted a special report covering two stories. One was the leak of 2,000 employees of the ESA, the Entertainment Software Association, and how the whistleblower of that got attacked by the media. And then came the story about the Allison Prager tweets concerning Applebee's and Subway and stuff like that. During that video, and this is the only thing that I could see that would prompt what happened today, I had used a video of her movie nights series in which she, alongside Brad Jones, reviewed the movie It's Packed. This video is now currently unavailable on YouTube, and to my recollection, it is proof that she and Brad at one point in time were friends and were actually happy to work alongside one another. And on the screen right now, you will see what would be the only point in time in which I will show you this in this particular video. Now, what is the reason why I'm saying all of this? Why is the reason why I'm bringing all of this up? What is the point of this? Well, this is what I woke up to today. This is a copyright takedown notice, and you can see right there who it's from. Allison Prager, the Obscurus Lupa. Now, before I go any further, I want you guys to be aware that she has me blocked on Twitter. There is a big reason why. It is because I also follow Brad Jones. She has a block bot running on her account, blocking anybody who also follows Brad Jones. I want you guys to be aware of this because of what is going on here. There is no way for me to get in contact with her. Well, there is a few ways I can contact her. However, I want you guys to be aware of what is going on. If this was the only reason why that Allison decided to strike down my video, then she had a few other avenues to go down without resorting to this particular road. She could have emailed me. She could have tweeted me. She could have done any of this. She could have said, hey, I don't like the fact that you're using that content without my permission. And things could have been worked out and where the video could have remained with some edits done in order to make sure that things were resolved. There were, as I said, a number of different ways that we could have sorted that out. Instead, she chose to do this. She chose to use this avenue. A avenue in which takes down a video in which not only shows that video, but also has analysis, news, and opinions about her Applebee's tweet. It also shows right on the screen what she had tweeted out. I have been one of the more critical people on YouTube about this topic. I have been the one person that's still on YouTube that has no doubt rubbed people the wrong way about this topic. You can no doubt see some of the comments that I have gotten on my videos, my more recent videos, and some of the dislikes that I have received on the back of me covering this the way I have covered it. I have no doubt angered a lot of people concerning this because of the opinion and the side that I have taken. This is no doubt because of the type of community that Change the Channel has obviously garnered. It has known to be ultra toxic. It has been known to be one of the focal points of cancel culture. It has been known to take things one step too far as it pertains to what happened with Cinematic Venom, and even Saul Lavender, one of the early adopters of Change the Channel, had at times felt as though she wanted to exit out as well. And thus you are seeing exactly what the toxicity is like and why I have gotten the comments that I have gotten. But none of them have gone this avenue, none have gone down this road. Not even Holly Brown, not even Akara, not even Lindsay Ellis has gone down the road that Allison Prager has obviously gone down. If this is all it was me using the It's Pat video, then okay, we can work things out. Just give me the opportunity to do so. And if you are going to rescind that strike, if I have to do that, then okay, we can work that out. But there was no opportunity given. You can no doubt say that, hey, she doesn't need to give me that opportunity. She doesn't need to give me that chance in order to fix the content. However, keep in mind the other part of the special report. It is me giving my analysis of the situation, which was heavily critical of her, which was me saying that she should get over whatever this is, that this is petty, that all she had to do was to condemn the act of swatting no matter what actually happened that particular day. And this would be done. This would be over. Instead, she chooses to censor content by abusing the DMCA notice on YouTube. Something that we have all known has been abused by several people throughout the years. Most importantly, when Total Biscuit got struck down by Fun Creators and by Wild Game Studios, and Monday Matt had also gotten struck down by Zoe Quinn when he posted his video about the now infamous situation that happened in 2014. People who are watching these people on YouTube know full well how many people abuse that system in order to censor, in order to take down certain opinions about their content, about who they are. And they can do it, and they can get away with it because the copyright system that YouTube has in place fully lets people do it, because YouTube cannot get into the middle of these types of abuse for any reason whatsoever. They are restricted from being a middleman in this regard. Once somebody brings a copyright claim and a takedown notice onto your video, they are required, no questions asked, to take down that content. This is due to safe harbor laws in which essentially tie their hands to these situations. And keep in mind that I am not a very big YouTuber, so the chances of me actually being able to defend myself to YouTube about this, even if it were possible, even if safe harbor laws were not in place, were not great for me to get in touch with them about this situation. Thus is why I am making this video here, in order to raise awareness to somebody who, instead of taking the high road here, instead of taking the road which says to people that they can have their opinions on that particular person, instead of doing that, chooses to go and strike down videos which are heavily critical of them. Again, if it was just the fact that the video in question was used, in which no audio from that video was taken and used in the video that I posted, which adds content, which adds value, which is a news story, which counts as fair use anyway, then things could be done if chances were taken. But instead, she goes down this route. A route which will no doubt make people accuse her of censoring a person's opinion, of censoring a story which is heavily critical of her, which brings into question, rightfully so, about the validity of the rest of her statements in the document, and about how she perceives other people, of one of the few people who had gotten major attention for being heavily critical of changethechannel, and has no doubt been one of the more popular people who were critical of changethechannel right from the very beginning. This is obviously skirting the line of censorship. And keep in mind a copyright strike, what that means. That means your video is taken down. You are given a strike. If I get 2 more of these, I then have 7 days in order to file a counter notification that is accepted by YouTube, or else my channel is taken away and everything on it is gone, and there is no chance for me to ever be able to get a new channel going. That is what that means. And 1 strike disables your ability to live stream. That is what that means. 3 strikes, your channel goes away, and it takes 6 months for one of those to be clear if you don't get any more strikes. That is not something that you need to play around with. That is not something that is to be laughed at. This is a serious matter. This can destroy somebody's YouTube life. This can destroy someone's career, someone's hobby, someone's well-being on YouTube. And for someone who is shown to be that insecure, to be that bitter, to be that much of a grudge holder, to look for things that might be critical of her and take them down if she can do it, just shows to you what kind of a person she is. No, this is not going to shut me up about her. This scared nobody. I am going to continue to be critical of her, and I'm going to continue to say the truth. This is a scare tactic, let's be quite honest. Now, for those people who want to view the full video, it is available on Facebook Watch. I have a channel there, and it is there in its full entirety. And keep in mind that I have the video on my hard drive. I save all of these videos. I do not delete them off of my hard drive. They're somewhere. So it's not like it can't not be re-uploaded. So she is also not helping her matters on that either. I call on Allison Prager in order to rescind this strike. There are avenues that we can take in order to make sure that this is resolved. If she does not choose to do that, if she does not choose to get in touch in order to sort all this out and rescind this strike, I am forced to take further action. I am one who also fights copyright claims. I have done this before. I have won these before. I will do so again. I will file a counter notification. That means that once that is filed and once YouTube accepts that, the claimant has 10 days to say that they are going to sue to take me to court. And if that is not the case, then the video gets restored and they cannot make another claim against it. It essentially opens up the floodwaters. It essentially breaks the dam. And I'm pretty sure she does not want to go down that road with me, because if that's the case, then it will be quite obvious that I had offered the opportunity for her in order to rectify this before I went down that route. And I had offered her the opportunity to rectify this without going down that route. This is the evidence. This video right here is the evidence to show that I had that good faith in mind. But this is clearly censorship. This is clearly an act by her in order to take down one of the few people who were very critical of her and got a lot of attention because of it. Regardless of whether or not I got completely eradicated on the like-dislike ratio on YouTube, that does not matter right now. What matters right now is that somebody who is insecure, somebody who has obviously had a lot of controversy stand at her for the amount of people that she has screwed, for the amount of people that she has essentially turned on without any sort of warning, and while saying that they were never her friends, has chosen to try to censor me. That is not going to work. That is not going to serve you well. I have over 9 videos, maybe more, about this subject now. Some this year, thanks to the newfound Change the Channel 2.0 that they have tried to resurrect. And it's become more toxic than it was last year. I'm going to give her to maybe the end of the week in order for this to be rectified. I'm not hard to find. I am not hard to spot. I am not hard to get in touch with. Either she resends the strike and I do what I said I would do, or I will fight to restore the video as is. I am not joking, I am not playing around. This is something that will affect me on a more personal level. This is evidence that I had given her this opportunity. And if not, I can view this as being censoring of that opinion and attempt to take down a content creator who has been critical of her, who has been critical of other people in that movement. Then I will be forced to take a counter notification to the video. And I'm not sure she wants to go down that route. It's not going to go well for her. And of course, to YouTube, please fix this system. I know your hands are tied with safe harbor laws, but maybe it's the safe harbor laws that you need to take a good long look at. Take a good long look at what's binding you down. This is what happens when you let the inmates run the asylum. My name is JD Shadow, and of course that just happened.